You've started your music making journey and you want to buy some headphones. You would have definitely heard people say open back versus closed back. But what's the difference? I will clarify what open versus closed back means. I will break down a few options for you that are solid go-to headphones so that you can figure out what's right for you and your setup. Watch to the end of this video because there's a great piece of advice of how you can test out these headphones. Let's go. Hiya, it's Charlie T Music here. Quick reality check before we get into it is, do you even need fancy headphones when you've just started making music? Well, here's the truth. No, just start with whatever you've got, whether that's your AirPods or like some crappy pair of headphones. Upgrade later when your ears and your music demand it. Another thing to say is whichever pair you go for, make sure you use them all the time. It's about a consistent listening environment. Get used to how your music sounds through your headphones. This is how you train your ears. And over time, yeah, you can definitely upgrade them and you can upgrade your whole setup. When you're just starting out, the most important thing is just making your bangers. So now let's break down the difference between closed back headphones and open back headphones. So closed back headphones, they're gonna look a bit like this. These are called Focal Listen Pros. These are closed back headphones. It seems really silly to say it. The back of them that goes around your ears is closed. That's what closed back headphones are. And what that does is it blocks sound from the outside getting in, but it also stops what's going on in the headphones bleeding out. Closed back headphones are great for maybe creating your track and producing the track, and they normally have quite a generous low end. So if you're doing like beats or any bass heavy stuff, they can be quite nice to work with, but they're not great for mixing. Everyone says you shouldn't mix on closed back headphones, but I'm sure people do. Don't worry about that. Just pick the headphones that are right for you. They're also great for noisy environments. So if you live somewhere where there's a lot of noise that's not you, they're perfect. And they're great for a mobile setup. So if you've got a laptop and you don't just work in one single space, you go from space to space, or you want to work on a train or on the tube or on the bus, closed back headphones are really good for that kind of setup. As a result, closed back headphones, most of them, they have a really narrow stereo image and they can actually get quite fatiguing. I've got a great video about ear fatigue, so just go check that out. Here are some great options for closed back headphones. An absolute classic are the Beyerdynamic DT 770 Pros. They've got really deep low end and they have great isolation. If you've done any research about making music, you've definitely seen somebody wearing these because they're everywhere, but they're great. Next one, Audio-Technica ATH-M50x. They're pretty balanced. They're good, solid all-rounders. So then you've got Neumann NDH 20s. They're also very, very good. They don't have too much low end and they've got a nice little crisp sheen on the top. The other option is open back headphones. These are open back headphones. And as you can see, the back is not sealed like our closed back headphones. They have a vented design that allows air to travel in and out. So they're not good for isolating noise outside, and they're also not good for keeping noise inside. What they are great for is stuff like mixing and mastering. They have generally better detail for doing things like EQ and compression, and they're going to give you a much clearer image of your stereo balance. They're definitely more comfortable over longer sessions because most of them are quite lightweight, so you can kind of pop them on and you kind of forget that you got them on after a while. I would always recommend that you don't work for like 10 hours straight at a time. You should always take regular breaks, but if you're doing a full day's worth of music making, open backs, they're kind of comfortable and they're great if you work in like a quiet treated room. The negatives to them are that sound leaks out of them. Because they're open back, they let sound out. So if you're recording, particularly a vocalist, someone who's going to want the track quite loud and they're going to be right in front of a microphone, you're going to be able to hear a lot of spill from those headphones. And also, they don't block external noise. So you can still kind of hear your environment while you've got them on. That's a positive and a negative of them because that's what they're supposed to be like. So popular ones are the AKG K701s. If you don't know what they look like, they're these, which is what I use. And they're very balanced and super detailed. And they're very lightweight, so I enjoy these. Sennheiser HD650s or HD600s, they're really, really solid. They've got a good, clean, balanced reference of sound. Then you've got Beyerdynamic DT 990 Pros. So we mentioned Beyerdynamics in the closed back because they make both styles, but these ones, they are open back and they're very precise and they've got some nice high-end detail. So to summarize, you want to go closed back if you're going to be recording vocals or instruments. You need to isolate sound from your room or from your headphones, or you work in noisy spaces, or you have a setup that you travel around with. And you want to go open back if you want to mix and master stuff at home and there's a quiet environment for you to do it in. You want a bit of spatial accuracy and some comfort, or you work in a quiet, treated space. So here's a great tip for how you can test out and find the right pair of headphones for you. Why do I know this works? Because I did it, and this is how I ended up with this pair of headphones. What I did is I ordered about 7 different pairs on Amazon. Obviously, you can order them from any great online music store, and then I tried them all, and I returned the ones that I didn't like. I just read through the terms of the return policy of each pair of headphones that I found, and saw that they had free returns, and that meant in any condition. So if I opened them and tried them, I could return them. Sometimes these companies won't let you return headphones if you've opened them, so always make sure you check that. Don't just order 10 pairs that don't let you return them for free, and then you got to fucking pay for 10 pairs, haven't you? So make sure you read that. And I ended up liking these. I liked them. I didn't want to like them because I don't like how they look. But as soon as I put them on and started listening to them, I was like, yeah, these are my favorite. So there you go. I hope that's helped clear up some of the confusion. Now you know the difference between open back headphones and closed back headphones, and you can make the decision about which ones you want to go with. Before the keyboard warriors come in, there are loads and loads of great pairs of headphones. Closed back, open back, whatever. So you don't have to stick with the ones that I've suggested. Just go and find some that you like the most. If you found this video helpful, definitely leave some comments, drop a little like, share it with other people. I'll see you in the next one. Big love. Bye.